Our next speaker is Courtney Andrews. Courtney is from the Department of Anthropology. The title of Courtney's talk is Culture's Role in Immigration Health. Thank you, Courtney.
Mexican immigrants in the United States tend to be in better health upon arrival to this country than their US-born counterparts, despite tremendous physical and emotional suffering before and during migration. As they carry out their lives in this country, not surprisingly, their standard of living goes up. They gain access to quality health care. And yet, paradoxically, their health gets worse. Depression skyrockets, and the rate of diabetes ends up double that of the general population. Why is that happening? Public health professionals blame something called acculturation, which very simply is the process of losing your old culture and replacing it with a new one. But there's no statistical evidence that a new culture makes immigrants less healthy. Is there something wrong with US culture? Do Mexican immigrants just not fit in? After all, they've come here and they've remained, presumably because what they've gained is better than what they've left behind. And yet that's not reflected in their health. So here's what I want to do. An actual statistical analysis of how and why culture impacts the health of Mexican immigrants. And here's how. There's a research technique in medical anthropology that allows us to describe and measure culture in a statistical way. It's called cultural consensus analysis. You just figure out what the shared ideas are in a given group of people about what kinds of things are important or necessary to have a good life. Things like working hard, having a loving family, having a car. Once you have a cultural model, then you can measure individuals against it to see how well they stack up. That is called cultural consonance. It's the ability of individuals to live up to the shared cultural expectations of the group. And research has shown that higher consonance is linked to better health outcomes. My hypothesis is that among Mexican immigrants, lower consonance will be linked to more depressive symptoms and higher risk of diabetes. If that's the case, we'll have the first statistical confirmation that what is specifically stressful about the acculturation experience is that it limits the ability to achieve consonance with a widely shared model among Mexican immigrants of how to have a good life. And that's how culture is contributing to the decline in health. We'll also have a better understanding of how to approach the prevention and the treatment of depression and diabetes in more culturally sensitive and specific ways. So while the paleo diet or a daily trip to yoga class might be the right thing for some people, targeted efforts that are specifically designed to assist Mexican immigrants in achieving a culturally valued lifestyle may ultimately prove more effective in addressing this health crisis in this population. Thank you. It went well. I was worried about talking too fast, but I literally had 1 second left, so I think I timed it sort of perfectly.